Guys, welcome back. In the last session, we have discussed about the supplier interface, and we have seen the primitive supplier interfaces as well. Int supplier, double supplier, long supplier, boolean supplier. Okay, and we have seen the real-time examples on the supplier interface as well. In this session, we will be discussing about the next functional interface called consumer. Consumer is the one of the functional interfaces provided by the Oracle, and we will be using this consumer for the custom objects. So if you want to work with the custom objects, where you will be passing the custom objects as a parameter and it will not return anything. So consumer interface is the one which will be taking a parameter of type t and it will not return anything. So as the consumer is the functional interface, we will be having a abstract method in the consumer functional interface. The abstract method is accept. The abstract method is accept, which will be taking the type t as a parameter and it will not return anything. As I said, consumer is the functional interface which will be taking a parameter and it will not return anything. So that is called the consumer interface. So when consumer, we have wide variety of consumer interfaces. So for objects, for custom objects, we are using these plain old consumer interfaces. If you want to work with primitive data types like integer, double, long, so we have the respected consumer interfaces. So they are like, for integer, if you want to work with integer, if you want to pass the int value, okay, so if we are passing the int value as a parameter to the asset method, so we are having the separate consumer interface. So that is int consumer interface. So int consumer interface. So int consumer interface is, it is also one of the functional interface. It will be having a method similar to this actually, but the accept method will be taking the integer as a parameter. It will be taking the integer as a parameter. Okay, fine. So similarly, we have the double consumer interface. Double consumer interface. So double consumer interface is also one of the functional interface. It is also having a method called accept, which will be taking the double value, as a parameter. Double value. And we have one more functional interface called long consumer. This long consumer interface, which will be, again, it should be having a single abstract method called accept, which will be taking the long as a parameter. Okay, so it will be taking the long value and it will not return anything. Okay, so I hope you understood about this consumer interface, and you also understood about these primitive interfaces as well. Okay, that's all from this session. In the next session, we'll be seeing examples on these consumer, int consumer, double consumer, and long consumer interfaces. Okay, until then, thank you for watching.